A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant turn of events following a recent Supreme Court ruling, the British Transport Police, BTP, has announced that male officers will now be responsible for searching trans women in custody. This decision comes after the court clarified the definition of sex under the Equality Act 2010, stating that it should be defined as an individual's biological sex at birth. This ruling has sparked widespread debate and concern across various sectors, particularly within the LGBTQ+ community. The BTP's spokesperson confirmed that under the new interim policy, trans individuals in custody will be searched by officers corresponding to their birth sex. Previously, those with a Gender Recognition Certificate, GRC, would have been searched according to their acquired gender. This interim measure is in place while the police force assesses the implications of the Supreme Court's decision. The ruling has implications beyond policing, as the head of the Equality and Human Rights Commission, EHRC, Baroness Kishore Faulkner, indicated that trans women may no longer have access to women's toilets and changing rooms. In a statement on the BBC's Today program, she affirmed that single-sex services must be based on biological sex, stating, "If a male person is allowed to use a women-only service or facility, it isn't any longer single-sex." This perspective highlights a shift in how gender identity is viewed within the framework of equality law. While the Supreme Court's ruling has been met with approval from some women's rights advocates, it has raised alarm within the trans community and its allies. Stonewall, a prominent LGBTQ+ charity, expressed concerns that the ruling could lead to increased discrimination against trans individuals. CEO Simon Blake emphasized that the court reaffirmed protections against discrimination based on gender reassignment, indicating that trans rights remain a priority in the ongoing conversation surrounding equality. The implications of this ruling extend to sports as well, with the Supreme Court's clarification suggesting that trans women should not compete in women's sports. World Athletics President Lord Sebastian Coe welcomed this aspect of the ruling, stating it supports the integrity of women's sports. As the BTP navigates this new territory, they have committed to reviewing their policies in light of the ruling. A spokesperson noted, "We are in the process of reviewing the implications of the ruling and will consider any necessary updates to our policies and practices in line with the law and national guidance." This indicates a recognition of the need for ongoing dialogue and adjustment in response to legal changes. The EHRC is also moving quickly to revise its code of practice to reflect the Supreme Court's decision. Baroness Faulkner stated that the Commission will work to ensure that all service providers understand their duties under the Equality Act and adapt their policies accordingly. She emphasized the importance of clarity in the law, urging organizations to take heed of the judgment to avoid potential legal repercussions. The ruling has prompted discussions about the practical implications for trans individuals, particularly concerning access to public facilities. Baroness Faulkner acknowledged the concerns raised by trans advocates regarding the potential lack of safe spaces. She suggested that advocacy for neutral third spaces could be a solution, stating, "There isn't any law saying you cannot use a neutral third space." This highlights the need for continued advocacy and dialogue to ensure that the rights and needs of all individuals are met. Education unions have also called for clear guidance from the government on how the ruling should be interpreted in educational settings, particularly for children questioning their gender identity. The uncertainty surrounding the ruling's practical effects on schools and colleges underscores the complexity of navigating gender identity within existing legal frameworks. As the debate continues, it is clear that the Supreme Court's ruling has far-reaching consequences for both trans rights and women's rights. While some view the decision as a victory for women's safety and spaces, others see it as a step backward for trans rights and inclusivity. The ongoing discourse highlights the need for a balanced approach that respects and protects the rights of all individuals, regardless of their gender identity. In the coming months, as the BTP and other organizations adapt their policies, it will be crucial to monitor the effects of this ruling on the trans community and the broader societal implications. The conversation surrounding gender, identity, and equality is far from over, and the outcome of these discussions will shape the future landscape of rights and protections for all individuals in the UK. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.